Hare Krishna. Thank you, Shriya Mataji, Vishnu Prabhu, for leading the chanting today. Let's start with the Mangalacharan. Om Jnanatimidandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminati Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Dandavat Pranam. Okay, so yesterday, this week, we started a new prayer, this being the auspicious month of the appearance of Lord Sri Ramachandra. This Sunday is when we're going to celebrate. Sunday is the actual event. Saturday we're going to celebrate here in ISKCON Cincinnati, and I'm sure in many other temples across US. So this week we are glorifying one of the pure devotees of Lord Sri Ramachandra, King Kulashekara, who wonderfully gave us these 53 beautiful verses as a garland, as mala for Lord Mukunda. So it's called Mukunda Mala Stotra, which Srila Prabhupada really used to like and love very much. So we will continue singing that prayer. Let me post the link in the chat. Anybody would like to try today? So share my screen. Okay, so I'll sing and then everybody can also try to sing along so you get practice. And then hopefully sometime this week. We also have recordings available, so if you want to listen to the recordings and then prepare, and then you can also sing sometime this week. Okay, Hare Krishna. So I'll continue. Shri Vallabheti Varadeti Daya Pareti Bhakta Priyeti Bhavalunthana Kovideti नाथेति नागशयनेति जगन्निवासे तालापिनं प्रतिदिनं कुरु मां मुकुन्द जयतु देवो देवकीनन्दनोऽयं जयतु कृष्णो वृष्णिवंशप्रदीपः जयतु मेघ श्यामला कोमलाङ्गो जयतु पृथ्वी भारनाशो मुकुन्द मुकुन्दमूर्ध्ना प्रणिपत्य याचे भवन्तम् एकान्तमयन्तम् अर्थम् अविस्मृतिस्त्वच् चरणारविन्दे भवे मे स्तु भवत्प्रसादात् नाहं वन्दे तव चरणयोर्द्वन्द्वम् अद्वन्द्वहेतुः कुम्भीपाकं गुरुमपि हरे नारकं नापनेतुम् रम्या राम मृदुतनुलता नन्दनेनापि रन्तुम् भावे भावे हृदयभवने भावयेयं भवन्तम् नास्था धर्मे नवसुनिचये नैव कामोपभोगे यद्भाव्यं तद् भवतु भगवन् पूर्वकर्मानुरूपम् एतत् प्रार्थ्यं मम बहुमतं जन्म जन्मान्तरेऽपि त्वत्पादाम्भोरुहयुगगता निश्चलभक्तिरस्तु दिवि वा भुवि वा ममास्तु वासो नरके व नरकान्तकप्रकामम् अवधीरितशा हरदारविन्दौ चरणौ ते मरणे अपि चिन्तयामि चिन्तयामि हरिमेव सन्ततं मन्दहासमुदिताननाम्बुजं नन्दगोपतनयं परात्परं नारदादिमुनिवृन्दवन्दितम् करचरणसरोजे कान्तिमन्नेत्रमीने श्रममुषिभुजवीचि व्याकुले गाधमर्गे हरिसरसि विगाय पीयते जो जलौघम् भवमरुपरि किन्ना क्लेशमद्य त्यजामि सरसिजनयने शशङ्खचक्रे मुरभिधीमा विरमस्व चित्तरन्तुं सुखतरमपारं न जातु जाने हरिचरणस्मरण अमृतेन तुल्यम् माभिर्मन्दमनो विचिन्त्य बहुधा यामीश्वरं यातना नैवामी प्रभवन्ति पापरिपवः स्वामी ननु श्रीधरः आलस्यं व्यपनीय भक्तिसुलभं ध्यायस्वनारायणं लोकस्य व्यसनापनोदनकरो दासस्य किं न क्षमः श्री कुंदमाला स्तोत्र की जय श्रीला कुलशेखर आलवार की जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय थैंक यू anybody would like to read the translations for the first 10 verses
I can read that.
yes good atmata
Translation. O Mukunda, my lord, please let me become a constant reciter of your names, addressing you as Sri Bhallav, he who is very dear to Lakshmi, Varada, the bestower of benedictions, Dayapara, he who is causelessly merciful, Bhaktapriya, he who is very dear to his devotees, Bhav Luntha Govidha, Govida, he who is expert at plundering the status quo of repeated birth and death, Nath, the Supreme Lord, Jagan Nivas, the resort of the cosmos, and Nag Sayan, the Lord who lies down on the serpent bed. Second, all glories to this personality of Godhead known as the son of Srimati Devaki Devi. All glories to Lord Krishna, the brilliant light of the Vrishni dynasty. All glories to the personality of Godhead, the hue of whose soft body resembles the blackish color of a new cloud. All glories to Lord Mukunda, who removes the burden of the earth. Third, O Lord Mukunda, I bow down my head to your lordship and respectfully ask you to fulfill this one desire of mine, that in each of my future births I will, by your lordship's mercy, always remember and never forget your lotus feet. Fourth, O Lord Hari, it is not to be saved from the dualities of material existence or the grim tribulations of the Kumbhika Kumbhipaka hell that I pray to your lotus feet. Nor is my purpose to enjoy the soft skinned, beautiful women who reside in the gardens of heaven. I pray to your lotus feet only so that I may remember you alone in the core of my heart, both after birth. Fifth, O my Lord, O my Lord, I have no attachment for religiosity or for accumulating wealth or for enjoying sense gratification. Let these come as they inevitably must in accordance with my past deeds. But I do pray for this most cherished boon, birth after birth. Let me render unflinching devotional service unto your two lotus feet. 6. O Lord, killer of the demon Narka, let me reside either in the realm of the demigods and the world of human beings or in hell as you please. I pray only that at the point of death I may remember your two lotus feet, whose beauty defies that of the lotus growing in the Sarat season. Seventh, I always think of Lord Hari, whose joyful lotus face wears a gentle smile. Although he is the son of the cowherd Nanda, he is also the supreme absolute truth worship, worshipped by great sages like Narada. Eighth, the desert of material existence has exhausted me. But today I will cast aside all trouble by diving into the lake of Lord Hari and drinking freely the abundant water of his splendor. The lotuses in that lake are his hands and feet, and the fish are his brilliant shining eyes. The lake's water relieves all fatigue and is agitated by the waves his arms create. Its current flows deep beyond fathoming. Ninth, O mind, please never stop taking pleasure in thinking of the Mura demon's destroyer, who has lotus eyes and bears the conch and this weapon. Indeed, I know of nothing else that gives such extreme pleasure as meditating on Lord Hari's divine feet. Then, O foolish mind, stop your fearful fretting about the extensive torments imposed by Yamaraj. How can your enemies, the sinful reaction you have incurred, even touch you? After all, is your master not the Supreme Lord, the husband of Goddess Shri? Cast Cast aside all hesitation and concentrate your thought on Lord Narayan, whom one very easily attained through devotional service. What can the discipler of the whole world trouble not do for his own servant? Uh, till then, Prabhuji.
Yes, we'll stop here.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
We'll do 10 shlokas every week. Yes, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Aarti Mataji. Yeah, so as you were reading that number 8, where he says, I want to dive into the lake of Lord Hari and drinking freely the abundant waters of his splendor. So, like we said yesterday, Kulashekara Alvar, he's one of the 12 Alvars. Alvar means somebody who is completely submerged in the ocean of devotion, right? So, again, like I said, he used to recite, he used to listen to Ramayana every single day in his life from his guru. And once there was a past time where he basically lived and breathed Ramayana, and every moment he was basically with Lord Sri Ram. So once when his Guru Maharaj was not there, his son was reading the Ramayana for him, reciting, and we can see how I think the last week I think Vishwanath Prabhu had mentioned like how we can see Lord Shri Krishna in each and every page of Srimad Bhagavatam, right? So if we have the purity of mind, purity of our actions, then we can give rapt attention and we can actually see Krishna in every page of Srimad Bhagavatam. Similarly, Kulashekara Alvar, he saw and he basically had vision of Lord Ram every single day as he was hearing Ramayana. And once when he was hearing this pastime of how Mother Sita was abducted by Ravan and taken to Lanka, immediately he got so angry and he just raised up because he was king in Kshatriya mode, and he immediately ordered his whole army, we have to march, and we have to go to Lanka now. I have to slay this, I have to burn this Lanka into ashes, I'll slay Ravan, I have to bring and I have to unite my mother Sita with my Lord Sri Ram. Right? So he just immediately ordered his army and he started walking and he marched and he started crossing the ocean, and this whole army was like wondering what has happened to the king. Like he was so engrossed and completely absorbed. It was almost like he felt like Ramayana was happening right in front of him. Right, that is how he was transported. He saw Lord Ram's presence in every single word in Ramayana, and he started going into the ocean, and it was almost about to drown. He was neck deep, and then the deity in his palace of Lord Ram, they manifested in front of his eyes. So Lord Ram came along with Mother Sita and he pacified him, saying that, oh, my dear devotee, I'm really happy with your service, but see, I have already killed Ravan and I have already brought Mother Sita with me back. Right? So we are already victorious. The enemies are killed. Let's go back. And he personally lifted him from the ocean, just like the Lord lifts all the sincere souls from the ocean of birth and death, and he brought him back to the shore. So I was just reminded of that pastime when you were reading that number 8. But that is the purity of such sincere devotees of the Lord, that when we have that Again, like going back to that verse 1344 that Vishnath Prabhu you had mentioned last week. I was also reminded yesterday, again, Mataji, Dwarkadish Prabhu and Vishakapriya Mataji in the class, they were also saying the same thing. Like we should have purity of mind, we should have purity of words, and then we'll have purity of action. And I think that verse we read on 344 also says the same thing. It's the other way. But yeah, we have to have purity in our eating, sleeping. And then we will have purity in our action. And then with the purity in action, then we'll have purity of mind. And when you have purity of mind, then we'll be able to have rapt attention to the Shravanam and Kirtanam that we do. So yeah, as King Kulashekar was trying to cross the ocean, let's now read from Srila Prabhupada Lilamrit, who is also trying to cross the ocean for all the fallen souls of this world. And he's about to travel or begin his voyage to the west. So yesterday we read he got his visa finally, and he had got his ticket on Jaladuta. How wonderful it is! He's like we were talking about King Kulashekar as a Duta going through the Jal. Lord Hanumanji, who is also a Dut of Lord Ram, who crossed the ocean. So he's also a Jaladut. And now here we have Srila Prabhupada, who is also going to cross the ocean on Jaladuta. So he had got his ticket from Sumati Morarji for Jaladuta, and let's see what happens next. So I'll continue reading. I think yesterday we read up to Bhattacharya's interaction. So yeah. So as the day of his departure approached, Bhaktivedanta Swami took stock of his meager possessions. He had only a suitcase, an umbrella, and a supply of dry cereal. He did not know what he would find to eat in America. Perhaps there would be only meat. If so, he was prepared to live on boiled potatoes and the cereal. His main baggage, several trunks of his books, was being handled separately by Scindia Cargo. 200 3-volume sets. The very thought of the books gave him confidence. When the day came for him to leave, he needed that confidence. He was making a momentous break with his previous life, and he was dangerously old and not in his strong health. And he was going to an unknown and probably unwelcoming country. To be poor and unknown in India was one thing. Even in these Kali Yuga days, when India's leaders were rejecting Vedic culture and imitating the West, it was still India. It was still the remains of Vedic civilization. He had been able to see millionaires, governors, the prime minister, simply by showing up at their doors and waiting. A sannyasi was respected. The Srimad Bhagavatam was respected. But in America, it would be different. He would be no one, a foreigner. And there was no tradition of sadhus, no temples, no free ashramas. But when he thought of the books he was bringing, the transcendental knowledge in English, he became confident. When he met someone in America, he would give him a flyer, Srimad Bhagavatam, India's message of peace and goodwill. It was August 13, just a few days before Janmashtami, the appearance day anniversary of Lord Krishna. The next day would be his own 69th birthday. During these last years, he had been in Vrindavan for Janmashtami. Many Vrindavan residents would never leave there. They were old and at peace in Vrindavan. Bhaktivedanta Swami was also concerned that he might die away from Vrindavan. That was why all the Vaishnava sadhus and widows had taken vows not to leave, even for Mathura, because to die in Vrindavan was the perfection of life. And the Hindu tradition was that a sannyasi should not cross the ocean and go to the land of the Malechas. But beyond all that was the desire of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. And his desire was non-different from that of Lord Krishna. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had predicted that the chanting of Hare Krishna would be known in every town and village of the world. Bhaktivedanta Swami took a taxi down to the Calcutta port. A few friends and admirers, along with his own son, Vrindavan, accompanied him. He writes in his diary, "Today at 9 a.m., embarked on MV Jaladuta. Came with me Bhagwati, the Dwaran of Scindia Sansir, Mr. Sen Gupta, Mr. Ali, and Vrindavan." He was carrying a Bengali copy of Chaitanya Charitamrit, which he intended to read during the crossing. Somehow, he would be able to cook on the board. Or if not, he could starve, whatever Krishna desired. He checked his essentials: passenger ticket, passport, visa, P-form, sponsor's address. Finally, it was happening. Srila Prabhupada. With what great difficulty I got out of the country. Some way or other, by Krishna's grace, I got out so I could spread the Krishna consciousness movement all over the world. Otherwise, to remain in India, it was not possible. I wanted to start a movement in India, but I was not at all encouraged. The black cargo ship, small and weathered, was moored at dockside, a gangway leading from the dock to the ship's deck. Indian merchant sailors curiously eyed the elderly saffron dressed sadhu as he spoke last words to his companions, and then left them and walked determinedly towards the boat. For thousands of years, Krishna Bhakti had been known only in India, not outside, except in twisted, faithless reports by foreigners. And the only Swamis to have reached America had been non devotees, Mayavadi impersonalists. But now, Krishna was sending Bhakti Vedanta Swami as his emissary. That's chapter 11. We'll continue with chapter 12 briefly. Chapter 12 Journey to America. Today, the ship is plying very smoothly. I feel today better, but I am feeling separation from Sri Vrindavan and my lords Sri Govinda, Gopinath, Radha Damodar. My only solace is Sri Chaitanya Charitamrit, in which I am tasting the nectarine of Lord Chaitanya's Leela. I have left Bharat Bhumi just to execute the order of Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati in pursuance of Lord Chaitanya's order. I have no qualification, but have taken up the risk just to carry out the order of His divine grace. I depend fully on their mercy, so far away from Vrindavan. Jaladuta Diary, September 10, 1965. The Jaladuta is a regular cargo carrier of the Scindia Steam Navigation Company, but there is a passenger cabin aboard. During the voyage from Calcutta to New York in August and September of 1965, the cabin was occupied by Sri Abhay Charanaravind Bhaktivedanta Swami, whose age was listed as 69 and who was taken on board bearing a complimentary ticket with food. The Jaladuta, under the command of Captain Arun Pandit, whose wife was also aboard, left at 9 a.m. on Friday, August 13. In his diary, Srila Prabhupada noted, the cabin is quite comfortable. Thanks to Lord Sri Krishna for enlightening Sumati Morarji for all these arrangements. I am quite comfortable. But on the 14th, he reported seasickness, dizziness, vomiting, Bay of Bengal, heavy rains, more sickness. On the 19th, when the ship arrived at Colombo, Ceylon, now Sri Lanka, Prabhupada was able to get relief from his seasickness. The captain took him ashore and he traveled around Colombo by car. Then the ship went on toward Cochin on the west coast of India. Janmashtami, the appearance day of Lord Krishna, fell on the 20th of August that year. Prabhupada took the opportunity to speak to the crew about the philosophy of Lord Krishna and he distributed prasadam he had cooked himself. August 21 was his 69th birthday, observed without ceremony at sea. That same day, the ship arrived at Cochin and Srila Prabhupada's trunks of Srimad Bhagavatam volumes, which had been shipped from Bombay, were loaded on board. By the 23rd, the ship had put out to the Red Sea, where Srila Prabhupada encountered great difficulty. He noted in his diary, rain, seasickness, dizziness, headache, no appetite, vomiting. The symptoms persisted, but it was more than seasickness. The pains in his chest made him think he would die at any moment. In 2 days, he suffered 2 heart attacks. He tolerated the difficulty, meditating on the purpose of his mission. But after 2 days of such violent attacks, he thought that if another were to come, he would certainly not survive. On the night of the second day, Prabhupada had a dream. Lord Krishna, in his many forms, was rowing a boat, and he told Prabhupada that he should not fear, but should come along. Prabhupada felt assured of Lord Krishna's protection, and the violent attacks did not recur. Hare Krishna. Pause here for today. Anybody has any thoughts? Anything that we liked or loved from today's reading? Just again reflecting, it's so fascinating. It's just
Hare Krishna,
everything.
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Vishwanath Prabhu. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Sorry, I got a chance today to speak. I because it's my work week, and usually that's crazy what I'm doing a list, so I'm able to get a list. But yeah, listen to this. It shows. I mean, with this, it tells us like Srila Prabhupada was not willing to compromise on his principle, even being on that boat, been going through all that stuff. He still concluded. He celebrated Janmashtami on that. But I love this last line that you mentioned there, that he went on doing his duty because he has full faith in Krishna. I think that's our key. Once we have that faith, no matter what, we don't have any fear. He said, as long, I don't think he said in another purport, he said that as long as one have, where is the concern about fear if you have faith in Krishna? Because Krishna is the fearless. So I really like that last statement there. But from this takeaway, it tells us that even amidst of like all different turbulence things that go on in our life, we should still go on with our practice. We're not perfect, we'll try, but whatever which way we can, we keep on going. So that's what my takeaway. Thank you.
Thank you. Vishwanath Prabhu. Yes. Anybody else? I was just thinking again, like going back to Kulashekar Alvar and like what we were reading, what I was mentioning about Kulashekar Alvar, how Lord Ram comes, right? So like Vishwanath Prabhu was mentioning, when we have full faith, when you're completely devoted, completely sincere, then we can actually have darshan of the Lord. The Lord comes, and here Srila Prabhupada is having darshan of Krishna personally rowing the boat, right? So despite all the physical challenges, he had 2 heart attacks. Who would think of doing anything after that, right? But again, we see like how his mood of surrender, complete surrender, and surrender, like we, when Adi Gadadhar Prabhu was here, we were singing that bhajan, surrender, Sharanagati, starts with humility, then Atmanivedan, complete surrender of the self, and accepting Krishna as our maintainer, having full, firm faith that Krishna will always protect us no matter what situation, right? Eventually, if we are thinking only at the bodily level, then we may get discouraged. Oh, my body is going through so much pain, this, that, right? But a transcendental devotee is always thinking at the level of the self, at the level of the soul, right? And the Lord knows how to protect that soul, and what the journey of the soul is. So having that complete faith here, we see how Krishna reciprocates with pure devotees and how the pure devotees have the vision of the Lord at every moment, right, when they're going through those hardships. Again, going back to when we read Srimad Bhagavatam, all the pure devotees of the Lord, their journeys, and we get so much of inspiration by reading Srimad Bhagavatam. And here Prabhupada was carrying with him Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and this is the instruction of his Guru Maharaj, and the Chaitanya Charitamrita that he was reading was giving him the personal association of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on the Jaladuta. So again, these are for us who are still sadhakas, it may seem very philosophical, right? It's very theory, but again, if we follow sincerely in the instructions of our acharyas, then slowly and slowly we'll see revelations, like Prabhuji Mataji also saying yesterday. Krishna will give hint. He will make sure that he will talk to you, not directly, of course. You come and talk in front of the deities. Amarendra Prabhu also mentioned that these Archa Vigrahas, we should talk to them, and we can have loving relationship with our personal deities at home, and they will reciprocate. They will reciprocate by either, like when we are reading, either Krishna will talk to you through his scriptures, or Krishna will talk to you through his devotees, and we have association of the devotees. There will be some things like which we are thinking in our mind, and that will be answered by somebody in your life, either on that day or within that week. If we have that firm faith, if we have complete surrender to our Guru Maharaj's instructions, to our Guru Parampara's instructions, to the Lord. So, thank you so much. Anybody else has any other reflections?
Yes, Prabhu, I wanted to share something. So when we were discussing about Kulashekar Alvar, how he was like, ardent devotee of Lord Ram. Recently, a relative, like a distant relative, passed away, and we went to his funeral, and he was an aged man. So everybody from his family, were giving a speech that how when he was young, he lost his vision, not completely, but he lost a little of his vision. And then how he brought the entire family here to US, and then he was such a ardent devotee of Lord Ram and Sita, and he used to like read Ramayana every day, hear bhajans and kirtans, and then he had colon cancer as well. And so at the end of his life, while all the family members were, kind of calling him and giving him words of encouragement, he was giving it back, to them. He was like, he was giving philosophy of Bhagavad Gita, and everybody was saying that, how he saw like Lord Ram and Sita in everybody's, whoever he met, he saw that, Lord Sita and Ram is residing in their heart. So his end was very peaceful, because he knew all these philosophies, and he was suffering from shingles as well and a lot of pain. But then when he was asked by the doctor, he said that nothing is, affecting me. So it just reminded that if you have firm faith in the Lord, even at physical level, if you are suffering from any pain, it won't affect you that much as it will affect a non-devotee. So yeah.
Mm. Yes, wonderful. Thank you for sharing that real life example. Right. So yeah, these are like case studies, real stories around us. We can see many such stories around us. And if we have again, when will we have that vision to see? When we have faith, when we have purity in our thoughts, words, and actions, then we will have that vision to see that what this devotee is mentioning, right? Because there are so many people around us, but not everybody has that faith. So it will only touch the hearts of those for whom the curtains of Maya the Lord removes, right? So that's where we say the mercy of the Lord. Not everything doesn't happen just by our endeavors. The mercy of the Lord is equally important, and the Lord will make sure that He will remove that curtain of ignorance, illusion, and we'll be able to develop more and more faith in His words. But yeah, these examples, these real life stories inspire us. And yeah, I've heard from another devotee, like another devotee like this who was completely ardently devoted to Lord Ram. Just such pure devotees, when you're even around them, even their vibrations, their breath, you can hear Lord Ram, 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 from their breath. Like Shabri was there, so devoted. So such devotees. And again, Shabri was, of course, in the Treta Yuga with Ram. But even today in Kali Yuga, there are many such devotees. When we are around them, we can actually we can feel that positive vibration. Yes, thank you, Mataji. Anybody else? Yeah, I see a hand raised. Shilpa Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, everyone. From this reading of today, you were mentioning, and even before that, I think Shriya Mataji mentioned about faith. So I just wanted to add my point of view to it, that we all say that we have faith many times, but when the time comes, when it is tested, so that is the real moment when our faith, whether if it is in action or it is just in our thoughts. So sometimes we get illusion that I have faith, but when the time comes, it is tested, and then we know whether the faith is a genuine one, like in action, or it is just in our memory or conception that yes, I have faith. So in case of Shabri, like, what was her faith in action, that she was as you mentioned, so I would like to take up this point. So she was born in a family, and when she was supposed to get married, and there were many things against the Vedic rules. So she, at that moment, she just ran away from the house and pursue her spiritual goal. So that is faith, I would say, for me. So I just wanted to add this.
Yes. Yeah, wonderful. Thank you for sharing, Shilpa Mataji. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the Lord will always test the determination of His devotees, right? And here, of course, from Srila Prabhupada's life, we can see, right, how many tests, like 40 plus years he has been trying to carry out this order of a spiritual master, going through so much trouble in the last 20 years, right? But still, he had that firm faith, and we see in his not just words, but in action. Yes. So these are again, we are nowhere, but thus as our inspiration, right? And when we have inspiration in these examples of our acharyas, then that will give us that, and that moment of test that the Lord sends us, we will be able to remember. Only if we read, only if we associate with our acharyas, then we'll be able to remember their moments of test that they had to go through, and that will give us hope and encouragement in our moments of test. Thank you, Mataji.
Yes, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Okay, so it's 6:35 plus, so we'll conclude here for today with Vaishnava Pranam prayers. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Patit Pavan Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Thank you, everybody. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone.